Hello and welcome to episode 37 of the Mystical Times blog podcast with me, Michelle Eve. This episode is about the Grey Ladies of Somerset. There have been many reports of apparitions of women dressed in grey who haunt historic sites like castles, mansions or battlefields. These ghosts are often described as strange and sad figures associated with tragedy, heartbreak or untimely death. The concept of grey ladies likely stems from medieval Christian beliefs, where the grey attire symbolized souls in purgatory, a state of limbo for the deceased who were neither fully redeemed nor damned, allowing them to appear in the living world as mysterious, permeable entities seeking resolution. Come with me to the beautiful county of Somerset here in England, and I'll share 3 experiences of the Grey Ladies that have been seen there. Axbridge is the smallest town in Somerset, and in the High Street is where you'll find the old manor house. It is a Grade 2 listed 900-year-old building, and before it was made into a hotel, it was a family home. When Annabel Chard was a child, she would hear the tale of the ghost, said to be a grey lady, who would glide the landings of the manor house, looking for her lost love. This grey lady was said to be a relative of Annabel's family, and had resided in the property centuries ago before dying of a broken heart. Annabel said she found the manor house dark and spooky, with an atmosphere where she felt that she may bump into the grey lady whilst walking up through the night and having to use the bathroom, which was a walk down a long landing. This affected Annabel so much that she spent quite a lot of money in moving the bathroom nearer to her bedroom. This helped Annabel feel more comfortable in using the bathroom in the small hours of the morning, but she still felt apprehensive in the manor house during daylight hours. I do wonder if the Grey Lady is still seen by those who stay at the manor house hotel. Around 17 miles away, we visit the Thatched Cottage, which was a restaurant in Shepton Mallet, now an inn, and it too has a grey lady ghost that has been witnessed. This grey lady is said to have been a Quaker maid in the 1600s, who was said to have been in love with a cavalier who had also been in love with her. He would visit the maid regularly, but due to him being an aristocrat and her a servant, the relationship was doomed. Rumour has it that this man was the Duke of Monmouth. As it became clear to the poor maid that nothing more could come of this relationship, she took her own life. She has been seen in the rocking chair by the fireplace in the property, looking out of the window, waiting for her lover to return. It's said that she's been haunting the Thatched Cottage for over 300 years. On one occasion, a young lady called Kim Moon, who was babysitting the children in the property and was sat in the lounge when the red setter dog who lived there became restless and started pacing around the room, barking. Kim got up and checked on the sleeping children upstairs, who were still fast asleep. Kim returned to the lounge, and as she sat down, she saw the figure of a grey lady walk out the room. The children living there had witnessed pots and pans being moved around the kitchen floor as though by invisible hands. They told their parents of what they had seen, and when the parents went to the kitchen, they saw motionless pots and pans scattered all over the floor. Members of the restaurant staff have also reported of feeling a cold hand upon their shoulder, whilst others have sensed a presence in an empty restaurant. One time the ghost was helpful. A member of staff had had their hands full of plates, and as they approached the kitchen, the door was quietly opened as though to let the member of staff through. No one felt uneasy as the haunting was not disruptive. For the last Grey Lady experience, we now head up to the city of Bath and to the Grosvenor Hotel, which was built in the 1790s and was once the home for the poet William Wordsworth. The building is said to have been haunted for many years, and the experiences I will share with you are from the book Local Ghosts by Margaret Royal and Ian Gavan. It was around the late 1960s that a family that managed the hotel also lived in the property. They lived in an apartment on the first floor, and it was around 2:30 in the morning when the son went upstairs through a door to the corridor to get to the front door of the apartment. As he went up to open the front door, he heard footsteps behind the door in the corridor. He then went back through the door in the corridor to investigate the footsteps, and as he looked down the corridor, he saw the figure of a grey, misty woman. Upon seeing her, he felt an ice-cold chill across his body. He then followed the figure as it turned into a conference room. The room was empty, but he saw a chair at one of the tables being pulled back, as though by invisible hands, and then an ashtray on the table was lifted up, and then down again. It was then the manager's son decided to rush back to the safety of the apartment. Several months later, at Christmas time, Gordon Hall, a friend of the family, had a similar experience to the manager's son, although Gordon's experience happened during the afternoon. He was carrying a tray of coffee to take up to the apartment when he too heard footsteps in the same corridor. He put down the coffee tray and opened the door in the corridor. As he did this, he saw the grey, misty figure of a woman rush past him, giving Gordon ice-cold chills throughout his body. One of the chambermaids also encountered this grey lady, and this time it was on a second-floor corridor. As the chambermaid exited one room, she saw the figure of a grey, misty lady rush out of the room opposite and head down the corridor to the stairs. Thinking it was a touch odd, the chambermaid thought it was the other chambermaid, only to find out later that her co-worker was in a different part of the hotel. And that's all for this episode. I do hope you enjoyed hearing about the Grey Ladies of Somerset. For the next episode, episode 38, I'll share with you about the Black Hat Man of Bath. Till next time.